Good afternoon, everybody. How is all of my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing WWE Raw Recap Episode 8, which was live from Cincinnati, Ohio, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. What's your favorite moment of Monday Night Raw? Let me know down in the comment section below. You want to say hi? You want to talk about wrestling? Just post a comment down in the comment section below, and I read and reply to every positive message I see. Don't forget to like the video, share the video all over social media, and smash that subscribe button so you could be notified of all my future videos. With that being said, I hope everybody continues to have an amazing day, and without further ado, let's get to. And this week's episode of Monday Night Raw was live from Cincinnati, Ohio, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening, and we kicked things off with the Maverick Logan Paul, who came to the ring and was talking about how he was going to go to WrestleMania and take on Cody Rhodes, and he was wondering why the WWE Universe didn't like him, or he was interrupted by CM Punk, and as soon as he was, the crowd lost their minds. They chanted CM Punk. CM Punk said he has no issues with Logan Paul, regardless of what has happened between the two over the last few weeks. He did say he was going to beat down Logan Paul inside the cage at Elimination Chamber. And he said, and you'll find out at the Elimination Chamber why they cheered for me. Then Logan Paul slapped CM Punk before running out the ring and up the ramp. And that's when CM Punk said, you won't be able to run away for now, but you won't be able to run away on Saturday when you're locked inside that cage with me. And that's how the opening promo for Monday Night Raw kicked things off. And then we was quickly into our first match of the evening, which I think should have been a WrestleMania match, but we got it here on Monday Night Raw, even though I asked them not to. We got Penta versus Pete Dunne versus Ludwig Kaiser, and this match was pretty good, actually. It wasn't great because of the finish, which we'll get to, but it was a pretty good match. Pete Dunne kicked things off by leveling Kaiser and knocking him out of the ring, making it a one-on-one match between Pete Dunne and Penta, and Penta came out the boxes hot, flying all around the place before hitting a Hurricanrana for a 1-2 kick out, and then Ludwig Kaiser got back into the match, took out Pete Dunne. Then Penta ended up taking out Pete Dunne before Ludwig Kaiser ended up taking out Penta, and then moments later, both Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser were outside of the ring before Penta hit a beautiful suicide dive to both Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser, which took us to the commercial break as Penta was screaming into the camera, which was pretty awesome. As soon as we returned from commercial break, though, it was all gas, no break. Penta hit a beautiful triple suplex from the top rope, and then Penta was chopping both Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne. Then Penta was able to hit a beautiful sling blade on Pete Dunne. Ludwig Kaiser rose back to his feet, and Penta was able to hit a beautiful sling blade on him as well. Then Penta hit a nice kick to Kaiser. Penta then hit a Hurricanrana on Pete Dunne, who was flying off the top rope. Moments later, Penta hit a nice suicide dive on Pete Dunne in front of the announce table. Then he hit a suicide dive on Ludwig Kaiser, who was on the opposite side outside the ring. and then Penta hit a nasty looking driver for a 1-2, broken up by Pete Dunne. Then Pete Dunne and Penta ended up locking up into a slugfest. Penta hit a beautiful kick, but Pete Dunne was able to hit his bitter end on Penta, which was 1-2, broken up by Ludwig Kaiser. And Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne were locked up until Penta hit a nice Mexican destroyer on Kaiser, ended up hitting the sacrifice on Pete Dunne. That's when Ludwig Kaiser got into the ring, threw Penta out of the ring. Ludwig Kaiser hit his finisher for a 1-2-3 as Ludwig Kaiser defeated both Pete Dunne and Penta via pinfall, giving Penta his first loss in WWE, even though he wasn't pinned or submitted. And then we went to a John Cena segment, and this was amazing. John Cena was talking about how he's going to the Elimination Chamber to win the Elimination Chamber. He's not trying to make friends. He's trying to go in there and win so that he could go to WrestleMania 41 and capture a record-breaking 17th World Championship, trying to surpass the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And John Cena said he never felt more confident about winning number 17 than he does now. And then we got to a Rhea Ripley promo, and Rhea Ripley didn't have much time to say anything before she was interrupted by Io Sky. And these two were pretty much a building for their Women's World Championship match next Monday, which will be live from Buffalo, New York. And then we had the New Day come out. They cut a promo. Most of their promo was actually during the commercial break. Sad to say, really was interested to hear what the New Day had to say. But they were interrupted by the LWO when we returned from commercial break, which led us right into our second match of the evening as the New Day was taking on the LWO in tag team action, and Xavier Woods and Wilde started this match, and both men were exchanging control back and forth before Joaquin Wilde tagged Del Toro, and the LWO started their double team for a 1-2 kick out. Then Toro was able to hit chops on Xavier Woods in the corner, followed it up by a nice Hurricanrana on Xavier Woods, who was able to get his bearings and tag in Kofi Kingston. Then Toro flew out of the ring. Kofi Kingston stomped Del Toro in the corner, tagged Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods stomped Del Toro in the corner, tagged to Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston stomped Del Toro in the corner for a 1-2 kick out. And then Woods started to get cocky, ended up paying for it. Del Toro rolled him up for a 1-2 kick out. Xavier Woods quickly tagged in Kofi Kingston. Toro tagged in Joaquin Wilde, and Joaquin Wilde ran wild, taking out Xavier Woods, taking out Kofi Kingston. Wilde would hit a DDT on Kofi Kingston, followed it up by a DDT on Xavier Woods. The LWO then hit a suicide dive on the New Day. Looked like the LWO was going to win this match until Xavier Woods distracted the referee, got Kofi Kingston to be able to make the tag to Xavier Woods, who hit the stomp for the 1-2-3 as the New Day defeated the LWO via pinfall. And then the New Day started to jump the LWO, who was saved by Dragon Lee. But the New Day, the numbers game, considering Del Toro and Joaquin Wilde were laid out, was not in LWO's favor. So the New Day jumped Dragon Lee as well. Then we went backstage as we had a Judgment Day promo, and Finn Balor was still talking about no new members. Finn Balor was talking about how it was everybody else's fault. He said it's Dominic's fault because Dominic lost to AJ Styles. Hey, Finn Balor, you kind of lost to Seth Rollins last week too, but I guess we didn't bring that up. But Liv Morgan came in, saved the day, said, well, me and Raquel are going to go out and win the women's tag team titles, and doesn't matter who wins the titles as long as they were bringing titles to the Judgment Day. Finn Balor said, of course, and that's pretty much how we wrapped up hour one of Monday Night Raw. And Monday Night Raw was live this week from Cincinnati, Ohio, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. And hour two kicked off with the World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther, came to the ring dressed for a fight with the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. And Gunther said, you're going to be seeing your World Heavyweight Champion in action tonight. He went to Adam Pearce, made it official, and Gunther had a hand-picked opponent in the name of Akira Tozawa from the Alpha Academy. Akira Tozawa came out and looked like a scared dog. I'm not even gonna lie. The fear in this man's eyes, you could see clear as day as he walked down the ramp to the ring. Gunther got in the ring with him and said, you have a chance to do what Jey Uso couldn't do, and that's earn my respect, as he pushed Akira Tozawa a couple of times before the referee rang the bell. And that really angered Akira Tozawa as he came out and unleashed an attack on Gunther. But Gunther just swatted Akira Tozawa away like a fly as he hit a big boot followed by some nasty chops. Gunther did attempt the power bomb, but he missed. Akira Tozawa tried to roll up Gunther for a 1-2 kick out. Then Akira Tozawa tried to go to the top rope, but that did not work as Gunther was able to lock in a Boston Crab. Most of the WWE Universe thought Akira Tozawa was going to tap out, but he showed some resiliency, got to the bottom rope. But for both of these men were back on their feet, and chop fest ensued with the Gunther getting the better of that exchange. Gunther then hit a power bomb, went for the pin, 1-2, but then Gunther pulled Akira Tozawa's shoulder off the mat as if to say, I'm not finished with you yet. Then Gunther locked in a sleeper. Akira Tozawa went to sleep. The referee called for the bell, and Gunther defeated Akira Tozawa via submission before Otis stepped in and tried to stand up for the Alpha Academy. He ended up getting put in a sleeper as well before Jey Uso came out, saved Otis, saved the Alpha Academy, and left Gunther going back up the ramp. Then we went into our next match of the evening, which was for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, as the champion Lyra Valkyria was defending against Dakota Kai. And this matchup started out with some nice ground and pound. Both women were exchanging control. There was a roll-up row 1 kick out. Dakota Kai, though, hit a cannonball out of the ring and established control as we went to the commercial break. When we came back from the commercial break, both women were on the top rope, and Lyra Valkyria hit a delayed vertical suplex from the top rope that looked outright nasty. It didn't look nasty for Dakota Kai. It looked nasty for Lyra Valkyria with the way that she landed on her head and her neck. I really hope that Lyra Valkyria is okay after taking that type of bump. Then these two women had a slugfest, and they were exchanging roll-up after roll-up. I believe there were 6 different 1-2 kickouts within the segment between these two women. Lyra was able to hit a power bomb for a 1-2 kick out, and then Dakota Kai hit a kick, left Lyra dazed in the corner, then she was able to hit her signature kick in the corner before Dakota Kai hit a chiropractor for a 1-2 kick out. Then both women were on the top rope. Lyra Valkyria got the better of that exchange before being able to pull the Nightwing out of nowhere on Dakota Kai for a 1-2-3 as Lyra Valkyria defeated Dakota Kai via pinfall to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But after the match, while Dakota Kai was going up the rampway, she was attacked by Ivy Nile, who came down to the ring and attacked Lyra Valkyria as well. She grabbed the Women's Intercontinental Championship, held it above her head as Lyra Valkyria laid to waste. And then we had a Sami Zayn interview where Jackie Redmond sat down with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn said that he tried to go to Kevin Owens' house, and he admitted that he did not have good intentions. Kevin Owens wasn't home, but Sami Zayn sat down with Kevin Owens' mom, who chopped it up with him, and they sat there and caught up and had a great conversation. But Sami Zayn said, this has never gotten personal, but this is personal now. And Sami Zayn admitted that Elimination Chamber is going to be a bad night for Sami Zayn, but it's going to be a very, very bad night for Kevin Owens. So he said, Kevin, I hope you're prepared for that. And that's how we wrapped up hour 2 of Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was live this week from Cincinnati, Ohio, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. And hour 3 kicked off with Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker. The dogs were let out for hour 3, and boy did they run wild. This match started out with Braun Breaker shoving Dominic Mysterio and really showing off his power. Ended up throwing Dominic out of the ring. Finn Balor and Carlito were at ringside for this match. Braun Breaker, though, was just running through Dominic Mysterio. In less than a minute into this match, Braun Breaker was hitting the 23-mile-an-hour speed as he was just running over Dominic Mysterio to the point where Dominic Mysterio had to regroup with Finn Balor and Carlito outside of the ring. Dominic then tried to stay with Finn Balor and Carlito. Braun Breaker was in hot pursuit of him, so Dominic ran around the ring and back into the ring and started to beat Braun Breaker when he got in the ring, which helped give Dominic control. But Braun Breaker really lapped this off with a backdrop to Dominic Mysterio that looked real nasty. But then Finn Balor distracted the referee before Carlito dragged the Braun Breaker out of the ring, and when he did, Dominic Mysterio set up for a beautiful suicide dive outside of the ring, got him back into the ring, and tried to pin Braun Breaker for a 1-2 kick out. Then Dominic was able to hit a 619 on Braun Breaker, tried to go to the top rope, but Braun Breaker was able to intercept Dominic Mysterio with a Breakensteiner. But then Finn Balor and Carlito dragged Braun Breaker out of the ring again when Braun Breaker was setting up for a spear, which meant the referee saw this time, and this time the match ended via disqualification. Braun Breaker defeats Dominic Mysterio via DQ. The Judgment Day attempted to jump Braun Breaker, but that did not work to their advantage. Braun Breaker just broke out of everything they attempted to do, ended up spearing Carlito before both him and Finn Balor were face to face on all fours. Finn Balor crawled out of the ring with a smile on his face, and that's how we wrapped up that segment between Braun Breaker and the Judgment Day. And then we saw Ivy Nile in the back where Kathy Kelly pulled her aside and said, after your nasty attack on Lyra Valkyria, are you trying to assert yourself back into the Women's Intercontinental Championship situation? And Ivy Nile had the most genius response. She said, of course I am, which honestly made me laugh. She was going to explain how she needed to go win these titles so when Chad Gable returns. But when she started her promo, it was interrupted by the Viking Raiders, who jumped the Creed brothers, and that ended up being a great big brawl. But we ended up going to a Cody Rhodes promo as Cody Rhodes came out to address what had happened between him and The Rock on Friday Night SmackDown a few days ago. And Cody Rhodes started to go on about how important this situation is for him and his family and everything he's worked for. Before Cody Rhodes was interrupted by Seth Rollins, who came out and said the last time we shared the ring was at WrestleMania 40, and we was taking care of the Bloodline and The Rock and all that. And Seth Rollins said, because you didn't slap The Rock in the face immediately, that was like a slap in the face to me. And Seth Rollins said he's going to go on, win the Elimination Chamber, and he said he'll see him at WrestleMania 41. Before we was backstage as Jey Uso was back with the Outlaw Academy to make sure Akira Tozawa was okay after his beatdown from Gunther. But when Jey Uso left the medical room, he ran into Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and these three exchanged a promo, which even saw Austin Theory accidentally do a yeet at the end. We thought Jey Uso was gonna walk away, but he set up Grayson Waller for a beautiful super kick. And let Grayson Waller laid. And then we went to our main event of the evening, which was the Women's Tag Team Championships, as the champions Bianca Belair and Naomi defended against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And even though they didn't get a lot of time, this match was all over the place. Bianca Belair and Naomi jumped Liv and Raquel to start this match as Bianca and Liv started. Bianca quickly was able to get the tag to Naomi, and the double team was on from there. Naomi tagged Bianca Belair, and another double team from the champions as we had a 1-2 kick out. Then Liv tagged Raquel, and Raquel threw Bianca into the barricade before we went to the commercial break. When we returned, Bianca was tagged in Naomi, and Naomi started to run wild, ended up getting a 1-2 kick out. Naomi hit a beautiful crossbody, followed up by a nasty kick, was able to hit a blockbuster, and then get the tag into Bianca, who hit an amazing 450 splash for a 1-2 kick out. Bianca then went for the KOD, but she missed it. Raquel was able to tag in Liv, and Liv hit a nice code breaker for a 1-2 kick out. Which is when Dominic Mysterio came down to the ring to interfere, set up Liv Morgan for an Oblivion for a 1-2 kick out. Then Bianca was able to hit a spear on Raquel Rodriguez, which left everyone laid down. Naomi was able to tag in Bianca Belair, immediately rolled up 1-2 kick out. Bianca then hit the kiss of death on Liv Morgan for a 1-2 saved by Raquel Rodriguez. And then she hit a KOD again for a 1-2 foot on the rope as Dominic Mysterio grabbed Liv Morgan's foot and put it on the rope to save the Judgment Day in this match. And then Raquel Rodriguez intercepted Naomi, who was going to the top rope. ended up taking her head, bouncing it off the top of the turnbuckle, the top of the post, and sent Naomi back into the ring to get nailed by an Oblivion, followed by a Liv Morgan roll up, 1, 2, 3, and new women's tag team champions. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeat Bianca Belair and Naomi in the main event of Monday Night Raw to become not one, not two, but three-time women's tag team champions. And that's how we ended this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. And that was WWE Raw Recap Episode 8, which was live from Cincinnati, Ohio, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. What's your favorite moment of Monday Night Raw? Let me know down in the comment section below. You want to say hi, you want to talk about wrestling, and just post the comment in the comment section below, and I read and reply to every positive message I see. Don't forget to like the video, share the video all over social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nikki D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm Nikki D. This is the Nikki D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.